Selamat bergabung kepada Mr. Sandy dari Shanghai.
Okay, thank you everyone. So special thanks to Mr. Panchapoma and also Dean and all the lecturers and students here, and also Dr. Fritz. I think it's really an honor for me. It's a really good chance to have a chance to talk to you online, this kind of technology create this kind of possibilities. And that's also what we are going to discuss today, global trend of landscape architecture. So I'll share my screen and start the presentation. So just let me know if you see my screen. Okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yes, please.
Okay, good.
Continue.
So today, what I want to share with you is more about global trend, like landscape as infrastructure. And so first of all, let me introduce a bit myself. I'm Charlie, and I'm senior associate at Hassell. I have worked as a landscape architect about 20 years. And then before, I worked in Taiwan and also Germany. And now I joined Hassell Shanghai from 2009. So it's like 10 years working here. And it's really exciting to work in China, because China comes to value landscape architecture as a vital component in urban development. And the Chinese cities are creating garden cities, urban forests, and waterfront connections, as urban intervention in parallel with the growth of the city. So it's exciting that the richness of the urban landscape, the quality of public spaces and service provided citizens here are more the key indicator of China's city's development. So for me, landscape not only provide a welcoming environment for citizens, but also breathing spaces for environment and ecosystem while the city are fast-track development. And about Hassell, about Hassell, our vision is Hassell is also playing an important role in this field, and not only in China, but also in many exciting cities in the world. And there is a clear vision for all of us, design the world's best places, the places people love. And this drives our entire practice and our conversation across the global with clients. And we are an international design project, and it founded in Australia in 1938. So we have been designing exceptional places for more than 80 years. And we have a network of 12 studios across most of the important cities in Sydney, and also Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore. It seems like most of them are around Indonesia. And we are a multidisciplinary project. Our disciplines are truly integrated, and they shape how we approach each project. Our design team also includes a specialist research team and experts in design technology. And whatever the project scale, our design approach is centered around people, and we understand the needs of those who will use a place. And we judge the success of the places we design by the way people use and enjoy them. But it's also about the way people feel when they experience the place we design. And this is our studios. Most of the studios are in a renovated building, and it's also opened, shared, and connected, just like what we are working. And Hassell design process, we quite value about this process because we know that a sense of meaning, connection, and belonging is what's important to people. And we believe great design must have conceptual clarity, an authentic, special fit, a meaningful and sharp concept that we can use to guide the design process. And the four perspectives are, like you can see here, functions, context, and aspiration, of course, the beauty of the design. And this diagram shows how our process begins broadly with the research and started narrow and refined through a rigorous process of testing to deliver the clear design concept. So basically, our work, we try to unlock the potential of places, and our purpose is ensure that our design project contributes meaningful to create the value and sustain it over time. So there are some projects we have done recently, like all around the world. And this is Transforming Darling Harbour International Convention Center in Sydney. And this is Australia's largest convention, exhibitions and entertainment facilities and surrounding public lawn, which is a significant project in Sydney Centre. And we have also delivered 5 public buildings, which is the International Convention Center. And we create a public realm that is the heart of the project, and through extensive public parklands and open space with better connections, event areas, and enhanced gathering and meeting places that we connect the city and the surroundings. And the precinct has already become a gathering places of choice, a gathering social, economic, and environmental benefit facility. And this is the Nanjing Tangshan Museum landscape design. And we were selected in an international design competition. And we tried to integrate the architecture and landscape by working closely with the French architects to create an integrated landscape experience. And this, the native vegetation has been regenerated, and the bio-retention waterway support the health of natural environment and the sustainable operation of the park. And it has been recognized through a winning Australian Institute of Landscape Architecture Award in late 2016. And this is a northbound waterfront master plan and landscape design in Shanghai, which is a really important waterfront project in Shanghai Center. And this as part of an international competition, we look at 41 kilometers of waterfront in Shanghai, at Huangpu River. And the site is one of the city's key historical precinct, and it is currently being revitalized into a lifestyle hub. And our design creates a people-centered continuous waterfront that is publicly accessible. And we have reconnected the river to the new development that is happening within Hong Kong, and it's transforming itself into a new cultural and lifestyle destination. And this is a Beijing Tongzhou sub-CBD master plan, which is a really big scale and high level international idea competition. And it's a long-term vision to create a new CBD where the Beijing administrative government will be relocated. And this is 155 kilometer covering the estimate about 1.3 million workers in the future. And this is another exciting project in Palm Island in Chongqing. And it's actually F&B precinct with 5 building complex, a series of successful restaurants arranged on the edge of the water. It's a landscape courtyard in the center. So the unique waterside experience that draw on the location and city context. So this distinctive personality of the development is centered to its success, and it's all about overall experience and how people feel when they are here. And this is the man-made pool, and the landscape creates a microclimate and protect the underground space from overheating. And there are some more projects like from beginning to be built. So I will just quickly go through this. So kind of a snapshot you can see. The first one, this is the Thompson River. It's the in Nanjing. It's the hot spring center, and it's a new developed area, and we create some iconic bridge like for the new developed area. And this is how it built in the end. And we have different levels of like different materials, and this relates to the culture and the local colors, and create some interactions between the water and the waterfront, so people can enjoy through the open spaces. And this is another also connected waterfront in the entrance of in the gateway of the city. So this creates some historical materials and create an open view from when people arrive this open public park. And so this is the first site when people look at the city and then feels it's something very special with like eye-catching landform with a grand wall. And there's some poems we integrate with the water features and some waterfront between the path. Also some activities, people use that in the park. And this is creating a gallery center for the community. And this is also a Chinsu Country Park Master Plan competition. It's a huge park with different purpose. And what we think this should be integrated is about water, ecology, and especially the agriculture and the tourism economy, which we also create connect with the culture, with the local people, how can benefit them to enjoy or to operate those parks and their spaces. So this is, we consider how the agricultural landscape can be revitalized, this farmland areas and also the country area. So this is how this can be all integrated. And this is like the one I mentioned, the Lampung East Bank Urban Forest. And the idea here is like we're trying to plant 2 million trees along these cities. So this creates a huge dramatic site and in the most important area of Shanghai center. And this is just a design competition. After the competition, come to like a 2.5 kilometer waterfront area, and we consider how to revitalize the waterfront to connect people from the city to the waterfront. Because there's a thing like protect the water flowing, and so it's the limitation of that site. That's all we're trying to do is like minimize the impact, and we try to connect people not only along the water but also access to the water. And also create quite many different levels of gallery places like F&B or restaurants, so people can enjoy the area on the waterfront. And then also including with the historical center or historical restaurants that remain the kind of general atmosphere for the precinct. So we even consider interior connect to our exterior. And also, like when we are doing the design process, we have a lot of discussion on we set pin wall and studio, and then we make models, like study the scale or like check all the details and review the design. And this is how we did for the waterfront access. So this is a special wall with historical storage along the wall. And this is how it built now. And this is also like quite interesting and exciting area, like drive people from city and to visit important node and go to the waterfront. And then along the water, all the activities and jogging or cycling are all connected through all the Lampung River, and which create a lot of open spaces and daily life for the community, and host, especially for some big events for the city. So come back to the topic today. The main topic today is about what I want to talk to you about more, like landscape as an infrastructure. And landscape here is a broader definition of landscape. By addition to pictures design, a landscape should play a more proactive role in the process of urban development. And now the investment into infrastructure not only promotes the economic development of a city, but also build a framework and give the momentum to the city in its initial stage. And in recent years, the development of landscape infrastructure has integrated single functional civic project into more complex and comprehensive urban public system. So why is it valuable and why is the driver? Because landscape infrastructure is trying to satisfy a more healthy urban development. And in addition to emphasize on connection, efficiency, and other city functions, the landscape infrastructure focuses more on eco-restoration and rebuilding public awareness, and also improving urban aesthetic during the process. So why is it valuable? And the important thing is like we try to connect the lightless gray infrastructure with the lively green infrastructure to improve the developing structure and framework. So basically, try to provide a resident mechanism of the sustainability. So eventually, landscape as infrastructure is looking for integration of nature and city. So when landscape as infrastructure, the public open space is turned into mixture solutions. So its urban elements will be also actively connected. So and different type of connections provide interactive corridor systems in the process of urban development. So there are three key considerations in landscape infrastructure influence the urban development. And one is the water iteration and education. The second is more like vibrancy, community regeneration. And also what we need to consider is the landmark or the city identity, which create the special characters for city. And landscape infrastructure offers important opportunity for both natural restoration and also environmental education, which bridge citizens to the urban natural. And active urban age, which is a series of public spaces, can improve the activation of the urban function and revitalize the vibrancy of city and community. So the landscape structure can create aesthetic and cultural value, and which to establish the image or the city identity for different areas of the city. Also, like there are some public destination ambitions can be created through this kind of complex issue. As per here, I play a short video that shows like when landscape is integrate well with architecture or interior design, and the landscape infrastructure also can be created as a hub or is a special center for the community or for the city. So this is a design we did for a mixed-use project in Shanghai. The landscape is through time, different times with different atmosphere or the weather, and the people will be enjoy the places we created. So you can see here, well, after we create this kind of hub, city, we're considering how this can benefit the value for community, making galleries, spend their time, and then also like this also help on the operation for the developer, like in the shopping center as well. Interesting, we took these videos ourselves, and then we found that the places we create has really become a very popular center in the city. So, the example I will show you today is a classic example of landscape infrastructure, and it has been an ongoing evolution parklands in Sydney. So this is Millennium Parklands in Sydney, which is well known with the name of also the Sydney Olympic Parkland, and it covers about 500 hectares at Homebush Bay as one of the greatest legacy of the Sydney Olympic Games. And the concept plan was set up on 1997 and had a 10-year performance review on 2008. So the parklands combine physical elements with extendable and ambiguous management, and the educational program focuses on conservation and remediation, recreation, cultural art, history, and science. So you can see the ongoing evolution is from, like, you can see here, 1980s is polluted areas, highly polluted, and after the park was built, it's still try to, we consider the different way of purify the soil, and also like creating a city hub for the city center. And the three key design principles are well integrated to make it a great example of landscape infrastructure, which will mention the natural community regeneration, landmark, and identity. So it extends to different aspects of urban features, which carry through the weaving system within the parkland. At every stage of the project, the landscaping structure was reinforced through responsive design, and technicals were chosen or invented to conserve water, soil, habitat, and items of cultural value. And the key feature of the project was the re-establishment of functioning naturalistic waterways and wetlands. The work effectively drove food to the parkland and introduced new habitat for threatened species. And this was achieved by forming a series of freshwater wetlands that process runoff to a standard acceptable for reuse in irrigation and to provide recreation, setting, and aquatic habitats. So the physical components of overall framework had three key design separation of the lowland, which is the waterways, wall, and rooms, which both linked and separated the activities and habitat areas, and the land formed, which provides opportunities for visitors to gain orientation and also the appreciation of the scale and the diversity of the parklands. So programs were developed to raise users' awareness of the conservation value and the philosophies of the site. And infrastructure elements such as roads and utility services were designed to adhere to the park landscape and the park being carried to the urban core along green corridors. So, and also, importantly, is the way of remediated land management as identity. I've built a remediated land management. The polluted soil was resettled, traded, and remediated. And the landforms are also a part of the soil restoration strategy. So topsoil strips, clean fields, those strategies were all strongly relevant. And is now also a classic example of land remediation. So the decomposition of waste procedures, liquid, which must be contained and treated without risk to people or the environment. And the leachate transfer system consists of over 12 kilometers of racing mains, 26 pumps, 12 treatment pounds, and 3-story tank. All these systems has been also important environmental education, which is the key program for the school or the university of the city. So, and we had a 10 years performance review for the design of Millennium Parkland, and it's still ongoing evolution. So these are many legacies of the concept plan. But perhaps the greatest is that by the creation of active and parkland that work at many integrated levels. The Millennium Parklands were thrived by contributors to the 10 years review as a dynamic space of continuing education and experimentation in ecology, in wetlands management, and also in the land remediation, so as well as places for recreation and enjoyment in the landscape. So the conclusion after ongoing evolution is that a large scale of parklands serve the city as a landscape infrastructure will need to consider wider impact to the city. And landscape as infrastructure will also play important roles in effectively controlling pollution and improving water quality and ecological restoration. And providing diverse public activity spaces and creating cultural identity. And at the same time, infrastructure can be one of the most significant landscapes in the city. So it's really exciting to share with you the topic today. And we probably can talk more in the later sessions. Thank you.
Very like the information, Joey.
Maybe I can also just simply translate once in a while, so you all can also understand completely what I will be presenting to you all. Actually, if you read the title, it's a very long title, and yeah, I would like to advise to you all not to read it all, so only just to look at the picture. Ya. Jadi kalau kita melihat judulnya ini panjang banget ya, mungkin susah berdiri karena ini judul penelitian. Tapi kalau lebih enaknya buat kita semua, ya, lihat gambarnya. As anyone knows where this picture being taken from?
In the metro.
From where? Metro. Ya, jadi ini di metro ya. Anyone of you from metro?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now people from my hometown, Shanghai. So I'm glad to be here, to be able to speak to you all here in front of you, and also not only people coming from Metro, yeah, to all of the students here. And I think there are some students from UBL. Ada yang dari UBL? Tadi kayaknya sebut UBL. Ada ya? Oke, good. Ya, mungkin kalian nggak pernah lihat saya karena sempat saya sekolah di luar sehingga lama dan mungkin kita belum pernah ketemu. But I used to be a lecturer in UBL, so I think you all also have a lot of friends from UBL. So I think this will be a good chance for me to re-implement, to rewind the memory when I was still a lecturer. And also I want to actually just to say hi to Sean, and maybe all of you are kind of still confused, what is the connection between me and him, because we are so different. I mean, like he's from Shanghai, no, he's from Taiwan, sorry Sean, you're from Taiwan. Yeah, so, but he lives in Shanghai now, and I live in Indonesia. Before I lived in Japan for 5 years, and he is really a designer. Until now, he's still a designer. I was a designer, but now recently I became a researcher, and I got to know more different perspective, not only as a designer but also as a researcher, which can help us, everyone here, to look at one thing in different angle. So let's say he is a designer and I'm a researcher, so that's two different things. And also one more thing, he's so proud of himself. He's very handsome, but I'm very, very, very handsome.
That's important.
Yeah? You agree with me, Sean?
I agree, totally agree.
Maybe not, I don't know if anyone here familiar with, maybe not because most of you are kind of, we call it millennials, right? But I can see some of people here maybe can relate to what I will be speaking. Do you know about Hassell? Yeah. F4? Yang muda-muda tahu nggak? Yang mahasiswa tahu Hassell nggak? Hassell dari mana? Do you know where Hassell from? F4. Meteor Garden. Do you know Meteor Garden? Meteor Garden is a TV show coming from Taiwan. He's from Taiwan, and he always say he looks like Tom Mixer. Tom Mixer. I pronounced it wrong, right?
I think you didn't.
No, I like it, but it's okay.
It's a joke.
But he used to be my colleague or my best friend because we used to live in the same apartment, same room when we used to study together in Germany. So he was graduated from the same university, and we really we were in the same batch, same university, but I graduated first, right, Sean?
But we didn't stay in the same bed.
Really? No, we were in the same batch, but we didn't graduate in the same batch. Because he loves to work, he is a very good landscape architect, and he loves to work as a landscape architect, and he delays a bit to graduate. Maybe some of you also like him. Karena keasikan kerja, jadi lulusnya dia lakukan aja lah, sama lah. So, but I also often call him boss. Yeah, he is my boss. Why? Because whenever he came first, and then he stay in one room first, and then always like I follow him to stay in the same room. So like I always ask for his permission to join him in that room. So he's always my boss, right, boss? Sorry for saying that.
No worries. Welcome. No worries.
So that's how we connect, and luckily today we can have this opportunity to be in the same room again. And of course, actually, we would like to have him here, to be with us. But unfortunately, there are some, issue with the health around the world, virus, and we don't want him to be at risk. And we hope everyone there in China or in other part of the world which is affected to the virus can be living safely. So all your family and also your friends, hopefully, all can be safe, and then nothing happens to your family. We all hope.
No.
Yeah, let's hope for them. Let's pray together. And so maybe next time, Mr. Anggi can try to have like another event or just knowledge exchange, or then we can meet him directly. Or if any one of you, kalau ada yang dari sini ingin magang, ya saya dengar ITERA punya program magang. So if any one of you can do an internship, you can just contact him and try to work maybe in Hassell, but maybe in Shanghai.
Shanghai is too far.
In Shanghai is too far. Yeah, we can choose Australia.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with my presentation. It's about this city, the city of Metro, and as I said, you don't need to read all of the title, but here you can see the picture. This is not my picture, but I took this from this person's report. From infra photos, but this is the picture of a main street in Metro City, and you can see all the mahogany trees. Do you know what mahogany in Bahasa? Okay, one mahogany. Okay, everyone knows already, so I go back home. Anyway, so just quickly introduce my background. Well, I finished my study, my degree actually, recently in Japan, in the University of Kyushu, majoring in, actually the department's name was architecture, but my research was more onto urban planning. So I would say my doctoral degree, the field of my doctoral degree is urban planning. Jadi saya sebenarnya walaupun S3 mengambil di jurusan arsitektur, tapi penelitian saya memang lebih banyak ke urban planning atau penataan kota, perencanaan kota. Jadi saya lebih karena di sana kalau bidang S3 semua multidisiplin. Terlepas dari jurusan mana dia belajar atau melakukan riset, tapi yang terpenting apa risetnya itu yang dijadikan acuan. So before that, I also graduated from Lanskap Arsitek program in Germany together with Shanghai, and before I was also part of Daerah University. Here also we have some friends from Daerah University, and yeah, then recently I just finished my full-time job in Institute for Global Environmental Strategies as full-time researcher, but I'm still affiliated with them, I'm still connected with them as research fellow. Jadi saya sebelumnya sebagai peneliti penuh di Institute for Global Environmental Strategies atau IEGS. Tapi karena saya posisinya sudah kembali ke sini, saya tetap tergabung dengan mereka sebagai Indonesia yang tenaga ahli atau peneliti tamu. Jadi beberapa proyek masih saya garap, terutama yang berkaitan dengan SDG Program City. Jadi ASEAN bekerjasama dengan Jepang untuk punya program SDG itu sebenarnya dengan SDGs. SDG itu Sustainable Development Goals. Nah itu sedang dijalankan penerapannya seluruh kota di Indonesia dan dunia. Dan ini hanya sekedar logo-logo di mana saya pernah berafiliasi. So when we talk about Metro City, we always remember about the history of the Metro City. It came from the beginning when the colonization program started back to actually 1905, but there are some earlier programs started, but all people coming from Java reached the harbor. Maybe everyone already knows about this, but maybe Shan doesn't know about this development. So, and then this is some pictures about the early development in Metro, and exactly to be precisely in Metro, we started in 1936 to develop a place for people to start the farmers and to start the agricultural fields and some settlements and so on. And the Dutch colonial company also started to build the infrastructure. And what I like to also mention to you all here, actually there are many stories about the beginning of, or the history of the name of Metro. It's not Indonesian language, or it's not common to hear the name Metro. When I was being asked whenever I go, where you are from, or where is your hometown, I always call Metro, and everyone just start laughing. Why? Jadi kalau saya pergi keluar mana-mana, ketika saya ditanya di mana tempat kelahiran kamu, di mana tempat tinggal kamu, saya selalu jawab Metro, dan semuanya langsung ketawa. Kenapa? Ada yang tahu nggak? Kalau tahu dapat door prize. Mintanya ke Pak Kanji tuh. Karena Metro itu sebenarnya identik kalau di luar sana dengan sistem transportasi massal bawah tanah. Kalau di Osaka ada Osaka Metro, di Dubai ada Dubai Metro, di Paris juga ada Paris Metro. Makanya kalau mereka tanya, kamu tempat tinggalnya di mana di Metro? Oh, kamu itu masinis ya? Harus lah kereta api atau gimana? Belum lagi kalau tanya lahirnya di mana? Karena ketawa lagi, karena lahirnya di Metro. Tapi di sini ada satu story. There is one story about the origin of Metro. It comes from the Japanese word, which is Metro. There are also other versions. it came from Dutch word from metro and so on. But I prefer to use this Indonesian metro because it's really like very close. It has very close relation towards metro capable to play a significant role in Lampung province. So it means friend or partner, and metro is very strategically located in the center of Lampung province. So he or it, the city, metro can be friend with any or can connect with any city or any agents in other part of Lampung. So and then here we can see how it's developed. Jadi kenapa saya pilih ini karena tadi lokasinya memang letaknya di tengah-tengah Provinsi Lampung, ya, dibanding dengan Lampung mungkin lebih mudah dijangkau dari yang sebelah utara dan timur itu metro. Makanya artinya yaitu teman atau partnernya lebih pas menurut saya untuk mendefinisikan tentang metro karena memang dia mudah untuk menjadi satu hub sentral untuk saling berkawan, saling berhubungan dengan kota-kota lain atau kabupaten lain. Dan one element from the urban infrastructure being developed by the Dutch colonial government, which is very unique and very it has strong character. One of it is the street. Yeah. The street in every place built by the Dutch government, normally or generally, they are planted with the mahogany trees. So, and here we can see not only in Metro or not only in Sumatera, but there are other places in, for example, in South Borneo, South Kalimantan, Barabai, or in Nusa Tenggara Barat, in Mataram, and in Malang, in Jawa Timur. And you can see one example here in Barabai. This is like the center park, the alun-alun, this is called alun-alun, typically in Japanese cities. And also here, people use it for their public as their public spaces for sport and for playing some public activities. And here they have also some irrigation, the water channel. And also here, this is what we are going to focus on, the street arrangement, which has the typical canopy of the mahogany trees. And this is the earlier development, and here we have the current picture. And I just want to brief you all about the importance of urban trees. Jadi ini saya cuma mau menunjukkan sekedar membuka wawasan kita tentang pentingnya urban trees yang melalui gambar-gambar ini saja. Jadi kita bisa membayangkan betapa di kota-kota seluruh dunia yang kita kategorikan mungkin kota maju dan bagus, itu kita bisa lihat ada elemen pohon kota atau urban trees ini yang memang sangat dominan. Ini kebetulan tempat saya tinggal terakhir di Jepang. This is where I used to live in Japan. This is Ikatan city, and here this is the main road goes to IGS where I work. And behind you can see the Sakakura mountain, and here is the ada yang bisa tebak nggak ini kira-kira pohon apa? Yeah, this is sakura trees. So along this street you can see all the sakura trees, and the view will be very beautiful in the springtime, bulan April dan sekitarnya. Dan ini ada di Singapura di Orchard Street, and also here this is in the bottom right corner. I forgot where it is, but somewhere in America. I think it's in the Central Park in New York. And this is in Abu Dhabi. I also used to live in the Middle East for 1 year as a landscape architect professional. And this is just quickly to explain about mahogany trees. Don't worry, I won't talk too much about it. Maybe Dr. Said here can explain more, because is very specialist in planting. I got C for my planting. So, don't worry, I cannot explain this better for you all. So, but yeah, just to show you the Latin name, Suetinea mahagoni, and this is a tropical plant, and this can be used for shading, medical purposes, for natural pesticides, furniture, handicraft, and the very important thing is to be the prominent streetscape element. Jadi yang paling penting ini bisa digunakan sebagai elemen streetscape atau bentang jalan yang sangat bagus. Di sini kita lihat bisa bahan yang sangat besar sekali, dan ini sekitar 30 meter ya. Yeah, so if you maybe, I think this is the most popular theory in our field, not only in landscape architecture but also in architecture or in urban planning. Ya, theory by David Lynch. Ada yang tahu nggak? Itu dari zamannya dosen saya sampai mahasiswa saya, gitu terus yang disampaikan. David Lynch. Ada yang tahu David Lynch? Pak Agi diajar nggak teori David Lynch? Yeah, so this is a theory by David Lynch. And a city actually valued from 5 elements. Ya, parts, ages, districts, nodes, and landmarks. Jadi city itu biasanya, kota itu biasanya dinilai image-nya atau citra kota itu dinilai dari 4 dan 5 elemen. Pertama path atau jalan, ya, kemudian ages, ini sebuah tapi dari satu wilayah, kemudian distrik wilayah itu sendiri, kemudian nodes ada poin-poin yang penting, kemudian landmarks, kita tahu ya maksudnya. So, and the line of organic trees atau pohon mahoni can be identified as a good example to create a good path. And yeah, here people can connect with other places in the city, and also connect to people culture, and they can observe, they can be a part of the city, and they can be they can see the city from this path. Jadi di sini dengan path ini tentunya banyak sekali kegunaannya, bisa menghubungkan satu dengan tempat yang lain, kemudian juga bisa orang itu bisa melihat kota itu sendiri tentunya. Ini Metro City, so this is Metro City, yeah, this is where we see actually the path is a bit hard, it's a bit at the bottom here, but here you can see the landmark. You can say this is the landmark of Metro City, the Great Mosque of Akhmad, and then this is a very typical city arrangement or urban structure made by the Dutch colonial government. And here we have also another landmark in the left bottom corner, and this is from the world perspective. And so it's a small city, actually it's a town, but I would say this is a very ideal condition, very ideal, it's very ideal to be a city, because when if we learn from the history, from the basic history of urban in the European, they have a city basically only has a population of 150,000 inhabitants. Jadi sebenarnya kalau kita melihat dari sejarah perkotaan, awalnya kota-kota di Eropa atau di Amerika itu memang hanya berkisar dari 150,000 penduduk ini. Nah, itu yang memang paling ideal untuk menjadi sebuah kota. Kemudian sedangkan sekarang, of course now we have so many problems of urban falling, yeah. The city becomes very big, and this is another global challenge for us. And we will speak about the Lanskap road, where here in the top right corner you can see where the street is located. We call it Lanskap Road. It's the one of the major streets. And here there are 13 street fragments. So here one street fragment is consisted of two how to say, I forgot the word. Ada yang tahu bahasa Indonesia perempatan apa? Junction. Okay. ya one sheet fragment consists of two sheet junction, and you have almost 13 street fragments that consisted of that has the mahogany trees planted only in one side, actually, only in the here. If you can see the map, of course you can know that the upper part is north and lower part is south. So all the mahogany trees only planted in the southern part. Jadi semua pohon mahogany yang sisa sekarang hanya terdapat di bagian selatan. Jadi ini, so this is how we can observe. So I did this kind of study using the Google Street View, because we can compare from year to year, from time to time. So actually this is a bit old data. I think we need to update more now, because I'm sure there are more newest version of the Google Street Image. But this is from August 2015 and December 2015. And of course, along the development of the metro city, the street becomes busier and busier, and also the road side also become more developed year by year. Jadi tentunya karena perkembangan kita, jalan ini mulai semakin ramai, ya kan? Karena ini jalan provinsi, dan juga sebelah kanan kirinya itu mulai juga banyak bangunan-bangunan baru dan sebagainya. Dan ini cuma sekedar conclusion, so this is just a basic conclusion, because I think it's not polite to have Sean is waiting for us for our discussion. But I want to just skip this part, that actually the conclusion from this, as I said, the land use in this area, in this main road, becomes very dense. Ya, denser and denser every year. Jadi land use-nya atau lahannya untuk di daerah ini semakin apa? Semakin so the mahogany trees are being very how to say, not well maintained. So nobody really do good research on how to maintain and what kind of treatment can be implemented to keep this landscape heritage, because this was since the year of the first year of metro. So then to keep this landscape heritage, because this was since the year of the first year of metro. So then I think it's being a bit well maintained right now, and also, yeah, because of some construction, and this is very directly located to or just adjacent to the road, and sometimes it's being hit by a truck. It's often being hit by trucks, so some damage can be occurring on the trees. And also, actually, there are still many space left here. If you, as a landscape architect, you always see the space here, like what Sean also explained to us, that public space or space in the city is very important for landscape architect. So there are still many space. Jadi di sini kita bisa lihat bahwa memang ini terancam karena keberadaan lalu lintas tadi, banyak kecelakaan yang melibatkan mobil-mobil yang menabrak pohon, jadi banyak kerusakan, dan juga sebenarnya masih ada jalan yang diantaranya yang kemudian itu, atau ruang yang diantaranya yang kemudian bisa dimanfaatkan. Bisa nggak kebayangin misalnya ada jalan pedestrian yang lebar, kemudian ada pedagang kaki lima yang kemudian tampil di tangga dan sebagainya. And but visually, ya, kalau kita melihat secara visual tadi di foto yang pertama tadi, dan di awal tadi kita bisa melihat bahwa memang pohon mahoni ini sudah menjadi ciri dari kota Metro. Dan itu sebenarnya harus ditangkap, ya, dan dijadikan, dijual atau dipromosikan sebagai citra kota Metro sendiri. Tapi sayangnya mungkin itu yang belum bisa dimanfaatkan dan dioptimalkan. So actually this as a visual entity, the city can be a good character for the city, good image for the city, which if you have this good image, then this also can be improved or can be used for tourism and so on. And also then we talk about the public awareness. Not so many people is aware of the importance of this street. Ya, jadi kalau kita bicara kesadaran atau pengetahuan masyarakat, ya nggak semuanya paham tentang pohon ini, dan juga orang-orang pun belum banyak yang kemudian mendorong conservation of this organic trees. So, then just finish talking about organic trees. I just want to also, if Richard already show off his work, I want to also show off my work. But of course not comparable to these international projects. This is just related to metro. I just put here what is related to metro. And this one project related also to landscape architect. As a landscape architect, I designed this public park. This is near what we call it educational area atau wilayah pendidikan, campus. We call it campus in university. So this is one park that it used to be no one's land. Jadi ini area dulunya ya area yang ada kebunnya, area yang orang nggak mau ke sana. Dan kemudian kita desain, akhirnya hasilnya yang seperti di bawah ini hanya konsep-konsepnya. Recently it's being used as a public park, especially for the students or some communities who which can use these parks to have some community activities. And also I want this second prize to design a landmark in university. This is the current condition. Actually, it's not being built yet because we got only second prize, so it's not going to be built at all for sure. And even the first prize, I'm not sure it's going to be built. But this is the current location, the current situation, and we want to have the landmark in the middle of the street. And this is the Masjid Taqwa, the Taqwa Mosque in the right side. And we want to use the landscape architecture approach to have public spaces and to promote the spaces for people in the city, not for cars, not for motorcycles, but for people, so people can walk in the city center and so on. And here, this is just a very simple brainstorming. When I got nothing to do, jadi kalau Pakistan yang ini. So this is one location. We call it's just along the irrigation channel. We call it inlet. Anyone knows what inlet means? Ada yang tahu inlet itu artinya apa? Oh, udah tahu ya. Ada orang metro di sini. So this is what we call ledeng or irrigation channel. This is one of places just adjacent to the channel. And anyone knows where? This is actually just photo montage. You know photo montage, right? Just to attach different pictures together. So you know where this is located? Ada yang tahu nggak ini di mana? Hah? Red. Ya ini di saya mau lupa namanya. Sudah lah. Terima kasih Mr. Kim. Jadi ini adalah sungai itu yang kemudian it used to be very like this, very slum area and so many environmental problem. But then they changed the condition like this, but then now they can just walk by and it's very clean. So it changed the image of the city completely. And I hope one day we can go to this like that. And this is just another photo montage. This is the current condition. This is Taqwa Mosque or Masjid Taqwa, and only for cars. Well, this is like a pedestrian. but it's not very in ideal condition. You can see the guiding blocks are not well connected. There are still different levels and so on. But this is just my idea, right? And this is they still have like a parking lot and also just cars can move on this side. And here we can just close all and then we have a flat pedestrian way and people can walk in different curve, like for the elderly they can walk. And maybe we can combine with cycling lane as well. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Just to open the thank you very much. And can you show Shan's monitor? I want to take a picture with him. He want to be asked by my friend to hug. And I don't want to hug him, but at least we have a picture together. Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Now I want to take picture with all of you. Okay. Lihat sini dong. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Dr. Fritz. And now we start for the discussion session. We open the first session with three questions. Ada yang mau tanya? Oke, satu. Ada lagi? Ayo. Ada dua. Tapi sebelumnya mungkin saya ingin sedikit berbicara dulu. Before starting, I just want to conclude Shan's presentation. Maybe just so, di paling penting adalah yang saya lihat tadi untuk pendekatan yang tadi desain yang dirancang oleh Shan itu cukup menarik ya. Jadi kita seperti dibawa ke dunia mimpi gitu ya. Yang dunia itu sebetulnya sudah ada gitu, dan China menjadi salah satu mungkin sekarang negara di Asia yang cukup maju dengan segala macam infrastruktur perdagangan, termasuk di sini adalah di industri untuk di landscape arsitekturnya. Jadi tadi pesan yang menarik ya dari Shan yang menurut saya menarik adalah jadi hampir semua kota yang besar sekarang mereka bergerak mempromosikan yang lewat kota-kotanya, rancangan kota, dan peran dari arsitek Lanskap untuk pengembangan kota menjadi peran yang sangat strategis. Jadi tidak salah kalau di Lampung ini ada berbagai desa Lanskap, jadi tepuk tangan untuk ITERA. Mudah-mudahan nanti peminat juga segera mencairkan yang telah dikumpulkan sehingga kita bisa bersama-sama berkolaborasi. Ya, termasuk ITERA mungkin ada program yang sama di UPL. Dan terima kasih ini alhamdulillah pada kesempatan hari ini saya juga tidak perlu kali datang dari berbagai macam, ini ada dari PEP, ada dari penasihat, dari senior, dari swasta, dari organisasi yang lain. Menarik. Kemudian termasuk yang kemudian adalah pengembangan dari infrastruktur ya. Jadi ternyata ketika berbicara infrastruktur tidak akan pernah lepas dari apa yang disebut dengan landscape infrastruktur. Kemudian di sini juga menarik yang kolaborasi. Kalau kita lihat dari kolaborasi, jadi landscape ketika kita terjun di bidang landscape kita akan berkolaborasi dengan berbagai macam disiplin. Ada di dalamnya ada dari arsitektur, ada dari sipil, kemudian ada dari orang geologi dan lain sebagainya. Dan kemudian kasus-kasus yang ditayangkan saya ambil dari cukup menarik ya. Mulai dari kasus yang memang sengaja dirancang ya, jadi konsep yang sengaja dirancang ataupun konsep yang sifatnya adalah merestorasi sebuah kawasan, memperbaiki lingkungan yang tadinya rusak, kemudian diperbaiki menjadi lingkungan yang sangat luar biasa. Dan menurut saya tadi konsep yang dari Shanghai adalah termasuk di Hassell ya, dia punya mimpi tentang apa yang disebut sebagai Millennium Parkland. Jadi Millennium Parkland di mana di dalam mimpinya itu yang sangat menarik ya, mungkin di Indonesia juga mudah-mudahan ya kita mulai bergerak ke sana. Jadi sekarang di kota-kota besar di dunia termasuk di Shanghai, di tempat biasa yang berbeda dari kota dunia yang lain, mereka sangat menarik apa yang disebut sebagai air ya. Jadi aspek dari air itu sangat diinginkan sekali. Kemudian juga ekologi jelas, kemudian tapi tidak lupa ya ketika pengalaman tersebut mereka tidak lupa akan identitasnya ya, kalau sebagai sudah terapkan di metro juga ya, jadi jangan lupa tentang identitas lokal, kemudian budaya juga jangan lupa ya, selain daripada program dan lanskap itu sebenarnya berkembang. Oke, langsung saja mungkin ke penanya pertama.
That is closing. Let's close this event by reciting Hamdallah.
We, as the master of the ceremony, thank you to Mr. Shanlin, Dr. Fritz, Akhmad, Nuzir, the audience and the participants entirely. May what we have conducted will be useful for us.
I am Vladina.
And I am Fernando. Apologize for any mistakes. Thank you for your attention. Good evening.